Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Vortie here, and I'm bringing you another video here on Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. And the squeaky chair returns. I haven't had a chance to take care of it. So today's video is going to be pretty short. Just going to go over the updates that they have pointed out here. As you guys probably saw this morning, I had a Final Fantasy VI video of unit overview. So from now on, unit overviews are going to be the longer videos where I talk about all the abilities from all the characters and kind of like my thoughts about the characters, whereas the unit spotlight or event spotlight is going to be right to the point, what we see, nothing in detail. All right, first and foremost, we get 6 stars for Terra and Kefka, so that's where they are. They look pretty cool. They get some new abilities that's not too shabby. They're definitely worth awakening the 6-star, especially, actually both of them are, even Terra and Kefka are worth it for sure. The next thing here is we're going to be getting the Final Fantasy VI event. It's called the Floating Continent. It is the next King Mog event here. There's a little bit of lore. You guys can read that at your own leisure. It starts Thursday the 20th, which is about 2 days away. Today is Tuesday. It is 10 o'clock at night Eastern. So it'll be Thursday 20th till May 5th, which is the Friday, and you'll have a little bit of extra time to exchange it, which is about 4 or 5 days later. So the rewards here, which actually is amazing, the collections that we're going to be doing is going to be the fish, which is so good. So clearing the first time, this is the usual, we already know that. Clearing the beginners, you will get a ticket, which is great. And you get intermediate, advanced, and pro, you're going to be getting a bunch of fish, which is great. And then elite version, you're going to get the 500 lapis for clearing it. So here, obtaining fish. So fish are dropped during each quest. Exchange them for items by talking to the King Mog in the dimensional vortex, which is cool. They got 2 materials here called Warrior Mage and Returner. So this Warrior Mage and the Returner seem like they're going to be character specific. Again, there is no news about this yet on the global version and what they're going to be doing. I'm not going to be referencing the Japanese version because normally if you reference the Japanese version, it ends up being wrong or different. So we're just going to look at it and pretend that this has never been announced yet. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that these guys are unit specific, especially the Warrior Mage one, which probably is going to be for Transterra. You can also get the 5-star Trust Moogle, which is 10% to all. We already know that. So the items here look pretty cool. You get a Barret, a little hat, as you would say, defense and spirit plus 10 with magic 10% attack, which is pretty good. I'm not sure who's going to be using that right now. Like I think our girl Terra can use it. That's pretty cool. I really like this one here. The tabby suit just looks fantastic. It's perfect, just what we needed here. Defense 30, spirit 20, hit points and MP 10%, and nulls poison. Overall, I can find some usefulness for this item, so you should probably pick this up, especially for the nulls poison in case there's an event that goes through it. The defense is pretty good. The spirit is so-so, but you'll also get the bonus of hit points and MP. You know, you can't lose. Plus, the art on it is fantastic. Because it is a King Mog event, we're going to be looking at the bonus units. Obviously, Transterra is going to be getting the 100%, and then our boy, I'm going to kill his name, Stetzler will give us 75%, and then Gao will give us 50%, and then the units that already exist, which most of us probably have at least one of, Kefka and Terra are going to be 50%, which is great. This stuff here, you guys know, have the bonus characters, go to the event, beat the event, get fish, and use the fish to buy things from King Mog. Very simple. Nalapa is going to be the bonus unit here. You can kind of see them. They didn't really darken it. It's the half-half, the red-white, what do you call it, the yin-yang, kind of like they talk about it. But anyways, Nalapa will pop out. From what I remember back in the JP version, sorry, I'm going to make a little reference here, but the JP version, it wasn't too bad. But again, I reserve the right to be wrong, in the sense that they might buff Nalapa again and make them more difficult, right? So as of right now, from what I recall, it wasn't too difficult. It wasn't too hard. Like, you still need to beat them. You need a little bit of a strategy, but it wasn't like the double corn from what I remember. I don't remember struggling on her that much. So it says here, it uses range of fire attacks Kupo. The amount of times it appears varies by level Kupo. So not too much note here. So you know that you should probably have fire resistance to fight this dude here. Appearing in pro and elite levels, we already know that, so not too much to spend on that. Here is the thing that's going to be kind of the focus right now. Going forward from this event and forever that I know so far in the Japanese version, the second week of King Mog events are going to be bringing a more difficult dungeon. So you're gonna have your normal one that you farm up to elite, but there's gonna be like a more difficult fight that you can kill that takes a little bit more time, and normally gives you a little bit of like better rewards, like for clearing it the first time. You know, they'll give you some rewards and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go into any of that in detail yet till we get the actual release to see what the items are gonna be like, but you're gonna get some specific rewards for this. Plus you'll get some fish. All right, this one, as you can tell if you don't know who this character is here, this is gonna be the most evil of evil characters that Final Fantasy ever had. It's gonna be Kefka. So this is the mage, the Kefka mage. He's actually is not too difficult, but there's a thing to it. So I can give you a quick overview of him. Essentially what it does is he will randomly change what element he is strong against. Oh, pardon me. Sorry, not strong against, weak against. And he just randomly changes it. So what you can do is you can bring a bunch of mages with a bunch of different elemental weapons, and then when he switches his thing, his element, you attack with that element. Otherwise, you're not doing any damage. The strategy that I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to wait till he turns to light, and I'm just going to blow him up with my 2 Orlandus. Because he doesn't have a lot of life. It's the element that kind of stacks you. So generic parties, you're going to be looking at having some like X-Death or Trans-Terra. But like the way I would make the party is like a tank. Like I'll say like this. I'll do Cecil, X-Death. I'll bring Refia. I will bring probably Menphilia. For like buffs, and then like an Orlandu and a friend Orlandu, and then the fight's pretty much ready to go. But again, once that event comes out, I will jump into it a little bit more and kind of show you guys how it is. The event is not difficult, it just requires you to actually be present. Like your mind has to be there. You have to be like, oh, he's buffed for fire. Obviously you don't cast fire if he's immune to fire, like duh. But that's kind of thing. It's not one of those events you can just be passive. Like you really have to pay attention to what's going on, and it's not hard. Trust me, you guys will do fine. But again, I'll make a video on that when that comes out to show you that, and that'll be in the second week of the event. So it says here, get help of the characters. So Terra and Kefka already exist in the game. You might already have them, and then you're gonna have Gao and Stetzer. And then you're going to have Trans-Terra, which is going to be the big kahuna of the banner. Alright, so that is the event. It looks really, really cool. I can't wait for the second part there, and I'm really happy that they're introducing this into the game right now. So going forward, every event we get going forward after this King Mog event, we will always have a new, more difficult event coming the second week, which is good. Unless they change their mind, but that's normally how it's been. Now the banner. So the characters, if you want to look at a more in-depth video about me talking about all of these characters, I kind of guesstimated which characters are going to be there based on the, the stream that they did. So I figured that this is what it's going to be. So I made the overview first because it's a longer video. This one is straight to the point, okay? So these are the characters we're going to be looking at. They're going to be available April 20th. So you're looking at Trans-Terra. Her job is a magic warrior, which is the same thing as the normal Terra. The Trans-Terra is just obviously, if you know what trance mode is, it's just like an upgraded version of their normal form. So when they go trance mode, they like go Super Saiyan, right? They're just like, ah, they go like, but they go more like legendary Super Saiyan, kind of like Broly, if you know Dragon Ball Z terminology. Like they just go super crazy. So Trans-Terra is like the next evolution of Terra. She just goes ape, right? So her magic is going to be boosted. All her stats are going to be boosted a lot. But as you can see, she's definitely a magic caster based off of the little orb system here. She's got a good healthy amount of hit points and MP, which is exactly what you're looking for mage. Base 5-star going to 6-star. She's going to be the big fish, the big kahuna in this race here. So good luck to you guys if you do get her. Overall, her actual TM is just incredible. It is an accessory that gives you 30% MP and gives you dual cast. It is kind of like Gilgamesh's gloves, right? Gilgamesh's glove, where you get 10% hit points and MP plus you get dual wield. It's kind of like that, but for the casters. This TM is a must-have if you do get her, and if you were ever going to pull for her, it would be for her TM. As far as a unit, she is not that far ahead of other mages that you can get that are easier to get, like X-Death. So that's how that's going to go. The featured abilities here that they're pointing out is she can do full life. She can raise the characters to full life. She has a move called Chaos Wave, where she deals partially unmitigated magic damage to all enemies. And then she's got another ability, which is this one here, which is Magical Activation, which when she activates it, will boost her magic and spirit, and it'll reduce the cost of Chaos Wave to 0 for the next turn, and increases its power. So, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. That's, you want to chain these two together, do magical activation, buff yourself, and then chaos wave, right? And she's got some support abilities. I believe she knows Cura as well, if I remember correctly, but you can refer to my other video, the really long overview on what she has there. Pretty good overall unit, but I'm not sure if it's really worth pulling for her on this banner, because the other units are like, eh. So next unit here is Stetzer. Stetzer is our introduction to the Gamblers character style. He is a 4-star base going to a 6-star. He is a physical damage dealer, and his kit is all about randomness. His Trust Mastery is called Fixed Dice. It only has an attack 1. It's a throwing weapon, and it's got a random damage when he attacks. And it's kind of like the whole feature that he gets. He gets like a 25% chance of doing like 5 damage, then 25% of doing 55 damage, then 25% of doing 555 damage, and then 25% of doing like 55,000 damage, kind of stuff like that. That's not what I'm saying this item actually does, but it's like a randomness factor. He can really do a lot of damage, or he can really do very little damage for his throwing weapon. So it's a very interesting feature, and he's kind of an introduction into that, because going forward, and once Zidane gets a 6-star, you're going to see more of this random thief, gambler, seeking kind of thing. It's actually pretty cool. So his featured abilities is Joker's Death. He's got a chance to instantly KO all enemies by 30%. He's got double dice, damage all enemies with a random power. So it just randomly does crap to them. Okay, here's the best way to describe it. And he's got a red card, which is his big hitting move. He deals damage to one enemy, and I believe, yeah, no, he just deals just a strong hitting move. I think it was like 180%. Or 280%, something like that. Anyways, refer to the other video. We'll just do that. The next character here is Gao. He's going to be the 3-star of the batch, other than the characters we already have, obviously. But he's the 3-star here going to 5-star. He's going to be limited by that 5-star, so his potential for future is going to be very limited unless he gets a 6-star awakening. He is also marketed as a physical damage dealer. All of his stats are really weak. His hit points subpar, but overall very weak. His job is Wildling, and his Trust Mastery is called Rage Meteor. It deals partially unmitigated damage to all enemies. It's kind of like Meteor, but he's got a chance of activating additional abilities from it. It's a pretty interesting thing. If you get a lot of them, go for it, but I don't think I would go and farm this TM. It's not really worth it. Featured abilities here are the abilities they think are important, if you haven't noticed by now, but Poison, Dark Damage, and Poison to one enemy. He learns Mega Volt, which is a big AoE lightning damage to all the enemies, which is it's not that bad. It's whatever. He learns Leap, randomly enable special abilities only available during this battle. When he clicks Leap, he's got a percentage of getting these crazy abilities. And if you look at my other video, I went kind of in-depth-ish into it. He's got a lot of abilities. Like, they really thought out this character's kit with Leap. He is a percentage chance that he will unlock like 4 different tiers of 3 different moves within every tier that he gets, and some of the moves are actually crazy. There's like the 15% and 5% chance triggers are like pretty powerful moves. For a 5-star, he can become a pretty big beast, but again, it's very chance related, and if you really want to take a look at that, you can look at my other video where I talk about Gao and in the Final Fantasy VI overview. It's about 30 minutes, so strap in. Then the next one here is going to be very quick. You got Terra. Terra is a magic caster. We already know what she is. Magic warrior, 3-star, going to 6-star. Her TM is Ultima. The new abilities that she's got, which is what they're showing here, she gets Ray of Hope, cures poison, blind, sleep, silence, paralysis, confusion, disease, and stone for all allies, which is pretty good. Having stone is great in an AoE form. Unlock magic, boost magic, and enable special abilities for 3 turns for the caster. Similar to how Gao is, she will also get some abilities using unlock magic. And then Flare, which is a move we already know exists. She gets it deals fire damage and reduces water resistance. And then the guy I actually really like, he was my first mage. I used him a lot. He was my first character that I leveled up to max level. Is Kefka here, coming in at a 3-star, going to 6-star. He is a magic damage dealer. Stats are so-so. He's got a very strong amount of MP, decent spirit, hit points for a mage is okay. His job is Archmage, super badass. His TM is actually really good. Magic is spirit plus 5, whatever, but it nulls poison, blind, sleep, silence, paralysis, confusion, disease, and stone. It's one of those things kind of like what 7 has. You want to have at least one of these, or a few of these if you can, on your PvP team to prevent you from getting dominated, right? So the abilities they're showing here, his featured abilities are his 6-star abilities, or some of the 6-star abilities. He will learn Roar of Laughter, When he gets attacked, he's got a chance of reducing attack, defense, and magic and spirit for all enemies, which is crazy. He gets hit and he just does this roar of laughter and he debuffs the whole team by 40%. It's nuts. Then he learns Last Footstep, damage and reduced spirit for all enemies. Nice. And then Light of Judgment, what he does deals partially unmitigated magic damage to all enemies. These moves are pretty good. He's got some devastating moves in his kit already, but these moves just make him even more powerful. They make him a little bit more relevant to the game. Like I said, I'm going to level this guy to 6-star for sure because I want to enjoy him. He's actually a very strong character. Overall, how do I feel about the banner personally? Other than Transtera's TM, I don't think she's going to be standing out that much farther than Terra herself. And as far as other magic dealers like X-Death, I don't think she's going to be that much better than them. Personally, I think that you guys should probably save your Lapis, especially if you're free to play. I would save it for the next banner or the next really good banner, which might be like a physical damage dealer. I've said this in the overview video as well, and I'm going to make mention to it now before I finish this video off. If you look at the Japanese game as a way to kind of figure out where we're gonna go, obviously it's a similar game because it's produced by two different people and their routes are a little bit different. But the Japanese game, even to this point, where it's trying to focus on magic damage dealers, it is focused all on physical damage dealers. All the characters that are dominating right now and that are carrying people through events are physical damage dealers. Let me name you a few: Orlando, Onion Knight, Cloud, and Noctis. All of those characters are physical damage dealers. There is not going to be a magic damage dealer that's going to just carry your party through every event. Most of the time, units are resistant to magic, which makes that magic unit less useful. So keep that in mind. So as far as usefulness in the game, is this really going to change your game if you pull her? Especially if you're a new player and you waste your 11 pull on this and you get her. Is she going to change your thing? Probably not. On top of that, magic damage dealers are a lot more difficult to gear. Look at all the King Mog events and past events that you get, even through your trials. What are you getting? You are not getting anything that's going to be worthwhile right away. Most of it is physical damage dealer related. You do get a wizard rod for beating one of the challenges, but that's it. Everything else is like you get Genji Blade, you get Enhancer, which are all usable by physical damage dealers. Alright, so my advice in conclusion to finish off this video: I wouldn't pull. If you want to be like me, don't pull for this banner. Just save your Lapis, and trust me, you'll be good. However, you should do the daily pulls to make sure you get enough bonus units that you can farm the event, so that you can at least get the items from the event. Alright, thank you guys so much for sticking around. I hope you guys enjoyed this unit spotlight and event review or preview, I would say. But when the patch does come out, definitely come back and you will see a more in-depth look at all of the event items and stuff like that, as always. Thank you guys for sticking around. This is Vortie. If you're new to the video, hit that like button and subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.
I said it.